Hello everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another review for the latest episode of Star Trek Picard, episode 9. So what did I think of this here episode? Let's find out. Okay, so before I begin, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, why not? Or if you are a returning, you haven't done so, why not hit the subscribe button? Hit that subscribe button, join the channel. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comments below after I've given you my thoughts. And yeah, let's have a friendly conversation. Now, I did mention this last week, but here beside me is the Playmobil USS Enterprise, which if you go back down in my videos, I'll leave it in a link in the comment below, you see me building. Look at the size and scale of that. It's fantastic. I've done a time-lapse footage build of it, and it's well worth watching. It's a fantastic model from Playmobil, just the best. Anyway, and also in this episode, there's a little surprise coming up, a visit to the call that was made to Q's agent, to get him cast in this series, John Delancey. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Now, yeah, so this episode, entitled Hide and Seek. Now, this episode is pretty much action-packed. It's very action-packed. It's a lot of action, a lot of running around, Chateau Picard, you know. But again, we've got our characters diverted off. They're split up and all sort of teamed up, doubled up. You have the Scissoring sisters running around doing what they're doing, by which I mean Seven and Raffi. Picard is teamed up with Tallinn. Rios is off with his girlfriend again, you know. But they're running around the set of Chateau Picard, being chased by these cheaper versions of Borg, basically. Yeah, the guys and men and women that Jurati, or the Borg Queen, had turn into Borg at the end of the last episode. You know, they're not really Borg, it's just a cheaper way of doing it. You've still got the laser sights, you know, but it's on the end of guns. Yeah, very, very cheap sort of a feeling to it. And I know in the context of the story, they're not full Borg and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so scenes with the laser pointers, I could just imagine the guys off camera with their little laser pointers, zooming around the screen. But anyway, so you know, Picard, his stuff, you know, he's running around Chateau Picard and he's having these memories about playing hide and seek with his mum, which leads to these memories that he's decided to hide away because they're tragic and all this sort of a thing. But we do get an answer as to what's happened to Robert Picard, or do we? Yeah, Robert Picard, Picard's brother, older brother, who's not mentioned in this series at all. If you remember, he was in Next Generation Season 4 episode called Family. That's where he was introduced. But where is he during all these proceedings? The answer lies within this episode. Yes, you know his mum now likes to play hide and seek with Picard. Well, Robert Picard, he's still hiding somewhere. We don't know where he is, or he's still looking for his mum down lost in the depths of Chateau Picard. Yeah, so as I said, Rios, he's with his doctor friend, and even though his doctor friend is a doctor, she does get medical advice off of him about how to deal with her son, who's suffering shock. You'd think she would know, being a doctor. Data's back. Sung, he's running around with the Borg trying to find Picard. Elnor, yes, Elnor comes back. Elnor comes back as a hologram within the ship. Yeah, now, it's all pretty silly, really, in that, you know, Jurati has hidden the key to the ship, so the Borg Queen can't get it out of her, where they're joint. But she says, yeah, no, I've hidden the key, but here you go, here's where I put it. I put it inside this hologram that's now popped up for you to fight. A hologram that runs away from you and dodges bullets. Why would a hologram want to dodge bullets? I don't get it. Am I missing something? Tell me down below. Yeah, so there we go. Now, Q himself, he's nowhere to be seen in this episode. So that leads me nicely into that phone call that was made. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the phone call that was made between the makers of Star Trek and the agent of Q. Let's get into that. 4-star taxi service, where do you want to go? My apologies, is this not the Forgotten Stars agency? Yes. Yes, it is. Great. We're looking at wanting to book John Delancey for a project. Delancey? Didn't that guy die? Karen! Have we still got Delancey on the books? Didn't he die? Okay. Yeah, no. Delancey's available. Wonderful. I need him for, say, well, if we have an early start after a late relaxed breakfast, I could have him back to you by maybe lunchtime. Okay, and what's the project name? The project, yeah, Season 2 of Star Trek Picard. Season 2? I didn't realise there was a Season 1. Who'd you recast as Picard? Tom Hardy? No, we have Stewart reprising the role. Stewart? Didn't that guy die? How are you going to get around his age? Do a crystal skull and have him sat in most of his scenes? Barbara, get Disney on the line, will ya? Find out if we can hire Stewart's X-Men wheelchair for the next few weeks. So there we go. There we have it. That was a little fun skit that I decided to do. Just, you know, that's how it went. Yeah, because let's get honest here, right? This series was sort of advertised with the return of Q as the primary villain, but he's had little more than a cameo appearance here and there throughout the series. That's true. That is true, look it up. Also, Picard, at least in this episode, Picard does do a bit of running round, whereas in every other episode, he is sat. Go back and check. Do a drinking game where you take a drink every time you see Picard sat down. God, you'll be out in no time. Yeah, poor Patrick Stewart. He must have been knackered after this episode. But anyway, so this episode itself, what did I think of it? I have issues still. I do have issues. The tension of Picard running round, being chased by Borg, that stuff in itself should have been exciting, but you cut away any tension with these flashbacks to the hide and seek stuff. And I know that it's relevant and it's nice to see a bit of Picard's background and his childhood and this sort of thing, but you've cut away any tension. This is poor writing. The way they've decided to interject this stuff into the primary storyline just detracts from anything. Obviously, we've got a new Borg Queen now, a friendly Borg Queen. We find out that the Borg Queen, she's only, you know, you feel for her now, don't you? Yeah, because the Borg Queen now, we find out that she's actually only doing what she's doing because she's lonely. Poor thing. Oh, she's only conquering millions and millions of worlds and pulling people into her own type because she's lonely. Yes, there we find that out. So we're introduced to a new Borg Queen. Now, this is setting up, obviously, in the first episode, the Borg Queen that came through to join Starfleet. It's going to be her, isn't it? Yeah, well, there we go. But not only that, this opens the doorway to the Borg being introduced in the far future in Discovery. So look for that. That'll probably happen. So yeah, one other thing I didn't really like about this episode, or about this series, is that you've got so many people playing different roles. Four people of the primary cast, okay? You have Data playing Sung. All right, fair enough. Right, we have Agnes as the Queen. You have Elnor now as a hologram. You have Taylin, or Laris as Taylin. You know, again, this is, you know, one would have been fine. One, maybe two pushing it, but you have four roles being played by, you know, I mean, the Elnor stuff just felt like we need to shoehorn him into the episode. And like I said, it makes no sense whatsoever because, you know, the key, Agnes, I ain't got the key. I didn't memorise it. Okay, well, where is it? It's in that hologram there that's just popped up that I'm popping up for you. Instead of saying, you try and find it. No, there's a hologram that it's in, so I'm going to tell you where it is so your people can chase the hologram to try and get it and get into the ship's systems. Instead of saying, you got me as to where it is. No, it's there. Anyway, yeah, so there we go. Just give him something to do. You know, he's on the payroll. We got to get him in an episode. Yeah, all that stuff I just don't really like, but there you go. Again, just... It's the main crux of the story of this episode that gets me, like I said, and the drawing away from the tension, or what should have been tense. It felt like a rather cheap episode because of the dumbing down of the Borg, the fact that it was all set-based, and there you go. But anyway, so those were my thoughts on this. Come back next week. Let me know what you thought down below. Next week we're going to take a look in the writer's room. Yeah, So come back and join me for that. Anyway, this is AJ. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. I'll leave a link for the building of this if you haven't seen it already. And yeah, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.